channel, Treasure Builders with Shola Moronfolo, an educator and early years practitioner with over 20 years working experience with children in the early years group. This channel is aimed at educating parents, teachers, and caregivers about the early years stage, their development, education, as well as learning challenges. I'll be offering pragmatic approaches as well as tips on how we can build these treasures irrespective of any challenges. Coming from a professional point of view, someone who has been actively involved in the education of this age group for over 20 years, you can be rest assured it's going to be a worthwhile learning experience. In this first episode, we'll be looking at developmental milestones in the early years. You are free to drop your comments and questions in the comment section, and make sure you like, you subscribe, and you share the video with friends. Thank you and happy viewing. Now, what do we understand, or what are we talking about developmental milestones in early years? Development can be regarded as orderly, sequential changes which occur in human beings from the time of conception to even death. Development of a child starts from the period of conception, when fertilization takes place. Development of a child can further be broken down into physical development, cognitive development, social and emotional development, as well as language development. And these angles can further be discussed stage by stage. And when we talk about stage by stage, we mean the growth level, the ages. So we have like birth to 6 months, 7 months to 12 months, 12 months to 18 months, 18 months to 24 months, 2 to 3 years, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and 5 to 6 years. This period, these breakdowns that I've just mentioned covers the early child period, which is our focus in this channel. And in this particular episode, we'll be looking at the physical developmental milestones in children from birth to 1 year. And it is very important for us as educators, young parents alike, to be familiar with developmental milestones in children. And this will help in detecting very early if there's a challenge or a disorder, and consequently it will be nipped in the bud before it gets out of hand. Over the years, with my experience working with children, I found out that some of the learning challenges that children face later in life would have been averted if certain milestones have been detected not to have been met by the children. That is why it is imperative for us, even as educators, to be familiar with all these milestones, so that when a child is not meeting the milestone for a particular stage in his or her life, intervention should quickly be offered. Now let's look at developmental milestones in children from birth to 6 months. This period, when the child is born, the head is comparatively larger than other parts of the body, like the trunk and the legs. And in fact, the head takes up 1/4 of the total body length of a child at birth. And by the time the child is 5 months, it is expected that the birth weight will double from what it was at birth. And it's usually at the range of 10 kg. So if you notice that even as at 5 months, the birth weight has not yet doubled, then it's supposed to be a source of concern. In fact, it's a red flag. We'll be discussing red flag in a subsequent episode of this program. In addition, at birth, babies are expected to have certain reflexes like eye blinking. They should be able to blink their eyes, sucking, rooting, and palm grabs. They should be able to make use of their grasping very well. In addition, they can distinguish different tastes, the sweet, the sour, and the bitter. This explains why they reject some food items or some drinks. For instance, when children are given bitter drugs, they usually reject it. They prefer to take one that is flavored, that is sweet, because their taste buds can differentiate between the sweet, the bitter, and the sour. This period also, they have the ability to hold their head steady. Their head should be steady, should not be moving from one place to another. They should be able to control the position of their head at this stage. Then they also should be able to roll on their back. They should be able to roll on their back from tummy position to back position and vice versa. In addition, they learn to imitate, especially copying from people that are close to them, like their mothers, who happens to be their significant other person. They copy and imitate from their caregivers, their older siblings, or people that are very close to them. Now let's look at 7 months to 12 months. By the time they are 12 months, their birth rate should have tripled. Their birth rate should have tripled, and it shows very good sign of physical development in the children. This is a period that is very that they engage a lot in gross motor activities. At this period, they are very active, they are very physical, they can sit alone. By 7 months, they can crawl. By 9 months, they can stand. By 11 months, all things being equal, the child is supposed to walk. And by the time they are 12 months, that's a year, they should be able to walk the staircase with assistance from an older person. When they are between 8 and 11, they master the act of grasping things and reaching out for objects. They are cutlery, they are cups, as well as their toys, and they have very firm grip control at this particular period. And it shows that development is actually taking place at the right phase. So at this period, we'll come to the end of today's episode. In the next episode, we'll be looking at red flags to watch out for in the physical developmental milestones of children 0 to 12 months that we just discussed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. If you have any question arising from today's topic, you can kindly drop it in the comment section and it will be treated in the next episode. Thank you for watching.